Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio, and welcome back once again to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the I Saw It on Pinterest series, and I have picked today this pen. It was actually penned by Judy Caldwell, but when you go to visit, it takes you to a YouTube video that is by, most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with her, Shabby Soul, Suzy at Shabby Soul, and she is a maker for Tim Holtz. And she made these really grungy tea bag, kind of mixed media tags to put in one of her little journals that she makes. And if you have not checked out Suzy, her channel on YouTube, you really need to. She makes some of the neatest little small journals, and she has really unique ideas for using Tim Holtz products with other products to make just really really unique pieces. She's a really grungy maker, and so if you're into, you know, things being vintage and grunge and whatever, you would really like her stuff. So I'm going to attempt this. Now, I am not a hot tea drinker, and so I don't have any used tea bags that I can use, but what I do have is I found these, and I think I found these on Amazon, but they are kind of a you fill it type tea bag. Whoops. It's trying to record what I'm saying here.
Still working.
Let me turn that off. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna move that over out of the way. Anyway, they're a natural color, so they're not bleached out, so they already have a nice color. And you put your tea in here, and you kind of make your own tea bag, and, you know, brew your tea. That way you can use, I'm sure, tea leaves in here or whatever. I'm not a tea expert, so I can't tell you. So what I did is I took a few of those, and you can see that it has a pouch, and it has a fairly wide seam here, and then it has the little, you know, expandable part down here at the bottom. So I cut it off at the expandable part, and then I cut the two side seams off, because when I tried to put my picture down in there with the big wide side seams, it looked weird. So I've prepared a few of those, and like I said, right now they're just strips of the tea bag material. And so we're going to make those look like tea bags to the best that I can. And then I have some of the Tim Holtz pictures, a couple of those. And then, let me get my stamp box out of here. I have some random stamps that I'm going to use. And then I also have a couple of photos that are in Louisa's Heinzel's latest digital kit. And I just picked a couple that I thought were really cute. I'm not a fan of clowns so much, but I found a ticket, a circus ticket, and I thought it would be cute to put the clown in the bag and then make the little tab out of the circus ticket, you know, like the T-tab. So, the only other supplies I have is I have some little shapes, you know, some tickets and some shapes and whatever to make the little hang tags from. And then I have some string to put on here to make the string for the bag. And then I'm going to be using my tiny attacher, of course, to put the strings on. And, of stamps. I pulled out a few of stamps that had, like, the smaller numbers and things on so that we could stamp on the bags. So, and I just thought of one I didn't get. I wanted to get my little speckling stamp. Now, you could spray these with coffee or tea if you wanted to grunge it up more. I tried that, and I thought they came out too dark because they have the natural color. I thought they came out too dark by putting something in addition on them, so I didn't do that part. But you guys, you know, if you're using regular tea bags and they're not used, that may be an option, would be to spray some coffee or tea on them and give them some spots. I'm going to use my little splatter stamp to do that. I'm trying to clean it a little bit, it's nasty. Rather than actually spraying and getting them wet. One, because I can control it better so that it doesn't go, you know, right on the faces of the people. And two, I don't have to wait, because I'm doing a video, I don't have to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to use this stamp, which, you know, is just splatters. So, with all that being said, oh, and one more thing, I'm going to get my a paintbrush, a flat brush, and I'm going to get my collage medium, which is what she used, Tim Holtz collage medium. If I can find it, I keep picking up everything but. Here we go. To glue them down. Now we're ready. So let's do the clown first, just because I don't want to mess it up, but I won't be too terribly disappointed if I mess it up, because like I said, clowns are not my favorite thing, but I thought with the little circus ticket it'd be cute. So I want to fold this up enough that once I get it in here, I can make the little fold at the top to close it up. I'm just trying to judge how much I think that would be. I should get I do have a couple of unused tea bags. Let me grab one of those so I can kind of judge the size. At least I think I have one. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere. In here, maybe. Nope. Maybe I'm wrong about that statement. Sorry guys, I know silence is deadly when you're making a video, but I thought I could grab one really quick. Here, I think I found one. Yes, I did. I found a couple actually. I kind of, like I said, don't drink hot tea. But a couple of the girls at work do. Here we go. So I bummed one. All right. So these have the little fold at the bottom. Of course, you know, once you, from what I saw in Suzy's video, once you have a used tea bag, that kind of comes off anyway. So I'm not worried about that. So we can see that this at the top is kind of folded it to a triangle and then folded down. So I'm thinking I can move this down. And maybe go about right there. So if we have to trim it off, we can. So I'm going to cut this off about right there. All right. So the next step is going to be to put some collage medium on the picture so that when we put the tea bag down, it will, you know, the tea bag's going to stick to the picture. Now, you would have to be careful as to what kind of printer you printed your images out on if you're using a digital. Because if you have a printer like my regular printer, this would actually smear because it, you know, the ink would smear from the printer. But I have these printed just simply because at the time I was running short on time. I had these printed at a Office Depot, so they're not going to smear. And then you're going to coat the top and of course it's going to seep through because that's what tea bags do, right? And we'll prep a few of these and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so let's do the back. And this collage medium dries really quickly. So it's not going to take a long time for them to dry. And I probably should have done like all the fronts and then done all the backs so it won't stick to my mat. But, you know, hindsight, right? Alright, so there's that one. So let's do a couple more. Let's do this little guy. I like this little guy. What I could do is put this on the back and glue it down so that it's not necessarily seeping all the way through. And I did kind of watch Suzy's video, but as you can see, obviously, I'm still fumbling through it process because I just really wanted to get the main idea. But I do encourage you to go check out her videos because she, like I said, makes some really cool things. Now I may have to trim these a little more narrow because obviously these are smaller pictures. Now I do want to look at one thing on this. Yeah, on those, I put those all the way to the bottoms. On the next one, I'm not going to do that because she kind of tore the bottoms and made them kind of grungy looking and put some stamps down there. So, I think on these, I'm going to leave some room at the bottom to do that. This needs to go up. So this one, I may just do the whole, I do the whole thing like it started out. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just going to use this whole strip like it started out. And we'll just cut the top off if we need to. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do a gentleman this time. And then we'll move on to the next step. Dry that off so I don't get my, I'm gonna slip my whole thing. Alright, so let's do one. And we'll do this guy. Now, You could leave room on the sides too to do some stamping and stuff there, but I didn't like I said, because I'm using these ready-made ones, I didn't like that seam, and I don't think it would work well or look good. So that's why I chose to get rid of it. Oops, don't want to fold it there. Leave some room at the bottom. This doesn't seem to be like causing any bubbles or anything, which is good. Okay, so there's our last one. And clean this up. Now I'm going to clean this off to the best of my ability right now, because obviously, you know, I can't run to the sink. And then I'm going to wrap it in this wet washcloth until I get done, and then I can go wash it in the sink. And because it's water-based, it should stay nice and damp until I can go wash that. Alright, so let's see. Alright, our clown is pretty much dry. Let's hit him just a second with the heat gun. Okay, so now what we want to do, I think we want to stamp, and then we want to, you know, make our little top fold. So let's grunge him up some. So I'm going to take Vintage Photo, and I'm going to take my little splatter stamp, and I'm just going to randomly, you know, put some grunge on here. And I don't want to do like right where his face is, obviously. And then I'm going to do some on the back. And then I think I want to do the edges as well. You could also use your little blending tool and, you know, put some color. All right, now let's put some stamps on here. Let's see. I'm going to do just random. Okay. What else do we have? Okay. I'm actually gonna do this one here. Okay, now let's focus more on the back. Get some of this blank area covered. Okay, so there's that part. Now let's figure out how we're going to fold down. So we want to make like a triangle. And I probably should have left this a little longer. Because mine's not going to be a point on this one. It's also not in the middle. Okay. This is easier said than done, guys. You would think this would be the easy part, but for some reason I'm all thumbs. I don't know why that piece is not even, but it's not. It's my folding, I guess. Let's trim it off a little. All right, and then that folds down. And see how that, to me, is a weird shape compared to this? So that's why I think that it needs to be trimmed off a little. So I'm going to take a little bit off both sides so that we keep a rectangle, not a square, because I think what's making it look funky is that it's more of a square than a rectangle. And I think for this particular project, you need a rectangle, if that makes sense. Right, now let's try it. There we go, that's better. It still could be trimmed off. Could be trimmed off straight, that'd be even greater. Okay. All right, so now let's take a little ticket. And I'm going to cut off like this part. And then I'm going to take my angle cutter. Let's try the small one first. Okay, let's ink that. And then we can take some string. Take our tiny attacher. Where are you? Here you are. And then this one has one of those little slits in the top. So we'll put that through the slit. It has a hole with a slit. So, do I want to do that, or do I just want to put that through the slit and then staple it? I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. All right, so there's our first one. Not perfect. We'll scrunch up the string a little bit. It's kind of white. Maybe add some bigger splatters on there. Yeah, it's kind of cute. All right, so let's do another one real quick. Let's do one that I've left the bottom a little bigger. And I'm going to tear across the bottom and get kind of a rough edge there. And then on this one, I think I'm going to determine ahead of time where I want to cut this off. Okay, so that's what it would look like. So we need about that much at least. So I'm going to cut it about right here. And let's go ahead and do that part. See if that goes better if we stamp after. Okay, let's get us this piece of string. And you can make these as short or as long as you want. This one obviously is going to be a more oversized tea bag because the pictures are bigger. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, if you make a loop and then you staple it, then you can take the tail and you can flip it back through the loop and pull it, and it'll make a knot around that staple so that your string won't slip out from under the staple. All right, now we'll scrunch it up. See if we like this option better. I think I'm going to. All right, now let's do some splatter stamping. Right, now we can do, this time I'm going to do some espresso archival ink and see if that comes out a little darker. Yeah, I think that's a little darker, don't you? Just random stamping. No rhyme or reason or anything like that. I just pulled out some different stamps with numbers and things on them. I don't know why I keep sticking it back in the ink. You could also use like a script stamp. I don't have any over here. And then you could also, on the back of these, if you wanted to, maybe put like a little bit of book page or something to cover up that big white glob. If you wanted to do something like that, let's put that on there. And I'm just going to use glue stick for the purpose of the video. But you could go back and get your collage medium back out and, you know, put collage medium on it and do it. But I think it'll stick with just glue stick. Kind of like that. And you could really do that on the front a little bit if you wanted to as well. Just whatever. Kind of like that. You could also maybe put like a postage stamp on there if you wanted to do that. Whoops. Wait for the glue stick, Timmy, before you start messing with it. Let's do our string and then decide what kind of topper we want to put on this one. Let's do this one. It's just cut with a postage stamp punch. So it's got kind of a scalloped edge on it. Okay, cut a little slit in the top. put it through the slit. Let's staple it. Alright, so there's that one. I have no idea how long I've been filming, so I will stop there for now, and I will finish these two, and then when I post the video, I will post a picture of all of them. And but yeah, definitely cool. Suzy used hers in one of her little mini journals, which, let me grab one, we'll try it. Alright, this is my little mini that I just finished, which will be available in my Etsy shop sometime. Actually, before you see this video, so she had one of these that she did, and it had several little pockets and tucks in it. And she had just taken these, let me find a pocket here, like here. And she had just taken these and kind of stuck them, you know, in her little pockets, like that. So that's super cute, right? So I have another mini one that I'm about to start. This one is Birds of Butterflies. And I have another one that, and if you recall, or from previous videos for this one, it's made out of an old bank book, the cover of a bank book. I have another one that I'm going to start this weekend, which the weekend is already passed when this video airs on Thursday. That is out of this little bank book, which is a tall, skinny one. It will be 6 inches tall, 6 1/4 inches tall, but it's only like 2 3/4 inches wide. And it's the same thing. I already have my pages, turn them upside right. I already have my pages in here, and they're all digitals by Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah, I believe. I say that, but I think that's right. And they're all Paris inspired or French inspired. And so these will actually look really cute in here. So I may make a couple, and then you could leave this hanging out the top if you want. So I may make a couple of these to put into here because I think it'd be cute. So, yeah. All right. So I digress, as usual. But anyway, thanks, Suzy, for great inspiration. This is a great little project. I love it. I wish that I, you know, had some real tea bags. I may have to go invest in buying a box and just brew them so that I can get the real grungy tea bags. But if you prefer this method, like I said, I got these on, I think I ordered them from Amazon, and they're just, you can search like fillable, natural, or non-dyed tea bags, and they should come up. Okay, and they come in a box of several, so you can, the reason I got them was to disassemble them and use, you know, this paper on to cover up like playing cards. They're great for covering up playing cards before you decoupage on them and things like that. But then I saw this project, so I thought I would try it. And I think it's really cute. I need to do something to the back of that. I may take that, grunge that up a little bit. But yeah, cute idea. I like it. So like I said, I will finish these couple and maybe make a couple for my next little journal. And when I take my photo at the end, you can see all my versions. So until Friday, when we're back for the 50 Stack Challenge 3, I hope everybody has a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.